Hello. Alright, guys. Seems like we are up and running here. So, we are going to go in and I want to show you guys what I've been working on. I've been very busy, so it's been a very long time since I've been able to stream anything. But I want to start with going over the mods that I have used for this build. And we will see, hopefully, we'll be able to see what's going on here. If not, I'm going to have to figure this one out. Um, okay, we are working. Good. I brought it up because I have to have the. For some reason, Arc doesn't like to display chat over, so I always have to have my phone up in case anyone decides to come in and say anything. So here we go. What we're going to do, we're going to go over the mods that I have installed. That way, if you decide you want to come over to my server, keep tabs on what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. You will see. I do have the Architect Paradise mod, the modern, but those two, I don't think I've used any of those on there. Just so you know. The storage I don't have. I do have a steampunk, apparently, that I have used some. I am not sure why that is not showing up here. But this is the big one here that I used the most, and this is the CKF Cosmetics Castle Keeps and Fortress Fort Cosmetics. Very useful, very nice little setup. If you can, we want to click through and look at these pictures very, very quickly here. So this is what you can expect to be able to build. Now I have done um, some of my own things. So we got that one. That's the big one. That's the big one that I've used the most at this point. There is a steampunk. I don't know why it's not showing up, but okay. So we're going to go in and we're going to go. Now I am here on 5038 the island. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go. Now I have also made use of the template hammers, folks. The template hammer is a wonderful, wonderful tool. My base is a little still wonky, we could say. The stairs here are steampunk. I will do that. This is all the castle skin. That would be, that's the fabricator. Not quite sure where my thing went, my smithing table, but it's around here somewhere. That's what your chemistry bench is going to look like. I haven't found anything for these yet. I'm still kind of working through mods to find stuff. This is my grinder. As you can see, all this is kind of in a medieval thing because, I've got my big greenhouse back here. I've gone through and connected everything up. My well, I had one. There was a little snafu with the Sir yesterday. RG got in while I was working on that. This is a barn. Okay, now this barn can be used doing the template. It is skinned with the Frontier and I believe it's the Architects with the rough stone. So this is all Frontier and Architect. Paradise. As you can see, this is my little barn area. This is where, little barn. Now, the big thing that I'm really excited to show you folks is this building. Okay, so there's a little mini castle, okay, that you can also build. A little mini medieval castle. I had to do some work on the uh, template hammer for this to get it to work right, and then there is a mix of, this is just a straight stone. I haven't really done too much with that except for the little windows, which I also believe are part of another mod. I believe it is the CK F mods. Now this is just a little building, and this is where, now this is the big one. This is a template mod, and it is called a horse stable. Let me we'll run back down here. We'll get into that one because that's the one I'm really excited about at this point. As you can see, my old building, as I am moving, is way back there in the back. It's just a giant square. I have a habit of building giant squares, so this time I did not. This is what I would like to call the King's Key. As soon as we get up high enough, I will show you this. This is the King's Key. And this is where all my crafting and stuff is. This is my little crafting King's Key with my little greenhouse. Let's do something real quick here, folks. Let's get rid of all this. Now you can see, there's the King's Key. Actually started out, that was kind of a accident I muggled into. I was trying to make a giant dino footprint, and I could not get it right, and it ended up being a key. So, go figure. Okay, so this is the barn, as you can see. A lot of different skins here, but this is the big thing back here in the back I wanted to show you guys, because I'm quite proud of what I have done with that, with the skins. Why am I going back to the old base? That's Candyland base that I am taking down, and I'm going to build a whole little city through here. There's going to be houses, there's going to be cottages, there's going to be windmills, there's going to be all kinds of wonderful things over here for this little medieval city, but we're not done yet. I have more to show you. But first, I want to run in. Now that template hammer is going to be around here somewhere. I made a couple of mistakes, so I've got stuff everywhere. Okay, here's the template hammer. This is what I was looking for. Now, if you have the Lost Colony, you're going to have access to this hammer. Now this, back here, one of the big things I'm excited to show you folks today. Let me get up here in the air so you can get a good look here. This is a little stable, okay? Now, if you go in and you have this template hammer, you're going to bring up your template hammer, and you're going to go over one spot, okay? You're going to get to this little arrow here. You're going to bring that up, okay? This is local. This is stuff that you're already have probably made. I've tried to delete these out. Apparently, there's a problem, and they won't delete out. Anyway, you can go over to featured, which is where this is at the moment. And it is the rustic dino stable is what I've put in. Okay, now I'm just going to that is the one that this is back here. Now when you make this, it's not going to look like this. You're going to have to skin it and everything. This is done with the CKF and the steampunk and also the frontier. Now here's the big thing. This is supposed to be a stable. I have moved my Mega Lab up here. This is supposed to be a stable. No, because I'm going to have to make a pub eventually for a medieval town. No self-respecting medieval town is without its bar. I still have a little bit of work to do. So I decided to make this where we keep the beer barrels. Now, the normal beer barrel that you can actually brew in and stuff, the functional one would not fit here. So I had to use regular barrels, okay? So, you got this, and you come back here, you open this, have a little barrel there. And as you can see, it was supposed to be a stable, which hence is why these are done like this, and now they've turned into little bays. Well, this is the front here, and steampunk is this railing here. This is front here. I believe this is the CKF mod. The pillars, definitely these pillars here are the. Oh, hold on. I see a pillar. Needs to be dealt with. Aha! Okay, so see that's your CKF pillar. You can also do these little corners with that as well. So I'm gonna come out of all of that there, so I can. Nope, no more template hammer. Thank you. That was just to show you guys. This has turned into a beer uh, cask holding facility until I get the pub made up, which I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet. I'm not sure which template I'm going to use for that. This is the medieval castle template. Get up and take a quick look at that. It's very small. It's very small. It's like kind of like a starter base. Now out here, now I'm still working on this out here. This is Wildcard's place. You guys know if I've mentioned Wildcard several times in my streams. We have actually streamed together. That is my boyfriend. This is his place. Now, we all know Wildcard loves his pirates. I love my pirates. So what we have done here, Wolf made this. Okay, tribe member made this to start him out with over here. Nice little kind of pirate-like shack. This, however, the boat, is a template, which I am working on changing. I'm going to redo the whole thing. In metal, it was done in what it was suggested at the time. Now, there's a little trick to this. We got some cannons. This is all jacked up right now. I got to fix all that. We have our little captain's quarters back here. I got to fix that. There's a few things I still need to fix on this boat. You go below decks, you have your below decks. I'm going to change all this to metal so it lasts a lot longer. However, I did go ahead and make the bottom part here metal in case of a megalodon or whatever. But I'm going to go through and I'm going to change it and redo it all in metal. So we have our ship, as you can see. Still a few things, little wall-eyed, a little quite not right, but I'm going to go in and fix all that. Some of this is still a work in progress at this point. But this has been what I have been working on, and pretty much any spare time I have has been working on this little medieval town that I am going to be building. I haven't quite figured out what I want to do with the walls once I get them all walled in. Originally, all this back here was supposed to have came down. My little dino battle thing over here. All this was supposed to come down back here, and this whole base was supposed to be moved. All this stuff was supposed to be moved back here. Okay, so that base over there is almost down. It's pretty much empty. I have a few things I still need to move, fridges, etc. All that fun stuff. But as you can see, most of it's moved. This space will be coming down. My cryo fridges and everything still need to go. My Rockwell, the cloner, all that fun stuff. I will probably keep this area back here. I will move it in probably back to this tree. I'll move that wall back because that is kind of blocking some silica pearl spawns that I did not know about, that I am aware of. So I'll be moving that wall at least back and getting it out of that spawn area probably to about like back here to to where the edge of this is and bring it straight in. I don't know about that yet. I'm not sure. Sorry, guys. But yeah, this is what I've been into. This is what I've been doing. So I will probably come back when I decide to build the next part of this, and show you guys how to use the template hammer and what I'm doing. A little trick with the template hammer, okay? It says you have to have so much of this, wood, whatever, thatch, whatever. Okay, here's a little trick, folks. If you have at least one or two of the base pieces, okay, the foundation pieces, no matter whether it's stone, wood, whatever, and that will get you started with this template hammer. Now, then from there out, whatever you want, whatever it's calling for to build, you can actually make out of metal. So that way you don't have to go back in like I did, like I'm going to have to do with the ship over there, and change it all to metal. So that is a little trick that I have learned with the template hammer. As long as you got at least one of the pieces it calls for, preferably the bases, you can make one. Let's say, okay, like with this wanted stone bases, wood foundations, stone foundations, stuff like that. So I made like 2 stone foundations from there. Now, some of it is still wood and stuff. Sometimes it does run into a glitch, and you do have to make another piece to get it started again. But as long as you have all the pieces together with your 2 stone or wood foundations that it calls for, it's going to ask for a lot more than that, because this piece here is like 2,000 pieces. Okay, this little building here is 2,000 pieces, I think. No. I think it's 900 and something. It's close to 1,000 anyway. That one is. As long as you have that, and you have the rest of the building material that it calls for made out of metal, it will put the metal pieces in. So I've had a few people tell me they could not get it to build out of metal. You had to build it out of what it was asking for. That is not true, folks. That is not true. You can very well build a couple of the bases of the foundations it calls for, and build the rest in metal, or whatever your preferred building is. Tech, I haven't tried it with tech, but I'm sure the tech will work just as well with that as well. So we are going to go back over here. This is where we will be building. I'm not sure what I'm going to build next. I want to do a cottage, but I don't think there is one here. So we could go down to local. Local is where, just whatever, I guess. Whatever you have there. And then you have your defaults, which you can go in. Okay, that is over here. This over here, the barn, is called, hold on, get over here, is called the classic red barn. Okay, that's right there on your template hammer. That is your classic red barn right there. I could even build a Frontier Saloon, which I think I very well may do that, the Frontier Saloon. Let's take a look at the Frontier Saloon. Okay, we can come down here and we can place it, and I can see if this is going to... Okay, I like this. I'm going to probably build this for my saloon and just skin it in medieval. So let me see if I can find a spot here. Actually, I do want to put the saloon by the water, because I have a water wheel skin I'm going to put on one of these walls to make it like a water wheel. And it's going to have like a little water wheel type shield. But hey, we're going to use this real quick. We're going to put that saloon right there. Okay, just temporarily to show you guys. what's going on with this, okay? It's probably not going to place the way that I have it. I have to clear rocks. I have to do all that stuff with the hanky before it will actually place down. And that's how you place your template for said. And you can put any skin that you want after these are built, okay? Any skin that you want. Now, you see this on the side, this little square box that has now come up. That would be the list of everything that you're going to need. So you're going to have to look over that. This is about 311 pieces total. And it is calling for ceiling hatch frames, 16 of those, the doors and windows, 7, the Adobe Foundation, 16. Now, you don't actually have to do the Adobe Foundation. I will have to for starters, unless there's like another, uh, this is a big Adobe build. So you're going to have a lot of Adobe to get this started. You're not going to need it. If I can find exactly, it's asking for an Adobe Foundation, and that's where the problem's going to be at with that. I don't have any of the Adobe, but to get that started, I will have to take the Adobe Foundations. But let's just go and do a test here, because I have not tried. Just curiosity has me here. So we're going to, it's the fabricator. My smithy is gone AWOL. Yeah, because I was rearranging a bunch of stuff earlier. I had the smithy out, but he's kind of disappeared at the general moment. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to try something very quickly. I just want to try something. Okay, so it's saying it needs like 6 Adobe Foundations. So we're gonna craft 4 of these because I'm low on a lot of stuff from all the building. I have to go out and forge. I'm going to see if this will work. Just curiosity at this point with that saloon build over here. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. If this works, we're about to find out. Or if I actually do have to build a piece. You have to go into this middle thing, bring up your template again, okay? You're going to press R1. That's a disable entry. You don't want to do that. Your first one up here is your spot. It says build target, or you can go to auto build. So we're going to try the auto build. Oh, there you go. You see, it called for Adobe. Okay, Adobe Foundations, which I did not make. I made 6 of those, and look, there it is, putting the metal in. So I'm going to pull all that up. That's not going to stay down because it's going to be done out of metal. But that is basically what I was trying to explain to you. It's easier if I just showed you, huh? You build your template out of whatever material you decide you want to do. This did place the stone down. Sometimes it's a little tricky with the metal. You do have to start out with a different base sometimes. But, I mean, it threw those quarter walls in real fast. Look at that. So that's where my little saloon is going to be, and I'll get that all skinned out and everything. Actually, what may happen here is after I get my preparations done and I move this again, because I'm not going to leave this right here. This will probably, it might stay here, but there's going to have to be some stuff done with it. So anyway, so what I'll do is I will end this stream. I have to go and collect all the materials I'm going to need. I'm out of stone. I'm out of metals. You could see I've been building quite a bit. So I need to, I'm down to 1 metal. That's not going to make enough metal ingots to make everything that I have to do. So I have to go do some metal, get some stone, all that stuff, and bring it back over from the center. So we're going to come back. I will be back later today with this. As soon as I get everything together, and we'll come back and we're going to build this saloon in its entirety on stream, so you folks can see how this works out and how it's done. If you've never used a template hammer, or you've never, basically, if you just never used a template hammer, you don't know what you're doing, or you just kind of wanted to watch a build with it, or like I said, some people have not still figured out that you can use different materials than what is called for. I just suggest you start with at least one, usually, of what it calls for, and then make the other out of your preferred material. But in this case, as we just found out, sometimes it will make it with whatever you have on hand. Always good to know, folks. Always good to know. So I'm going to end this stream here, and I will be back later today for you folks. And we're going to build this saloon, and we're going to skin it, and we're going to have a high old time doing this today. I want to show you guys, bring you in for a build on the house, but I have to go. I have to run over to center and go underwater mining and get me a bunch of metal and a bunch of everything that I'm going to need for this build. So, yay, loads of fun about to come our way. But I am very happy with how this stable turned out. You can very easily turn that into this with the CKF mod that I showed you guys at the beginning of this. It is mostly the CKF with some steampunk thrown in and some frontier. The floor is the frontier skin. Because I didn't really particularly care for the floors that was with the CKF. Yeah. These, I believe, are the frontier skin floors. It might be the CKF. They kind of look like CKF, but and then your CKF floors are going to look very much like this door. Okay, so this is definitely the frontier. These are your CKF doors from that particular mod. So yeah, you can take your stable. It doesn't have to be a stable. You can turn it into a barrel holding facility for your pub or whatever else you might decide. I'm thinking it would make a really nice house. Now hear me out on this. All this open area here on the sides, you could very easily wall all of that in. Wall it all in. Even this right here if you wanted to. You could wall all that in. But I kind of like the way that is. If I was to do the house, I would leave that away. And I would take this barrel out of the way, of course, blocking that entrance. But you could wall all that in. All these little bays here, you could turn them into straight walls, and or not. You could leave the entire floor plan open and wall in the outside of it, and have a pretty nice looking just house for crafting, or put all your craft stuff in, or whatever you would want to do. Or you could use it as a stable. Put dinos in it as it was labeled. Then you got your barn. Now this barn is going to be my new breeding facility. I may have to put in another one of these. I have to side by side it and take out a wall. Because I do a lot of raising and a lot of breeding. So it's going to be my little... I haven't got the troughs out yet. I know. Well aware of that, folks. So, yeah, this was a nice little thing, and make a heck of a house, or what I did with it, or use it as a stable. That template hammer has been quite useful in making this base. Of course, this little mess over here is my own doing. Freehanding, just messing around, trying to not build a square base, which I kind of succeeded, I guess. You could say. Maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? Go back down here. And we had that right there. We'll come back to that in the next stream once I get over and get my metal and everything done. Whew, we're not doing good there. I have to move. A lot of these fridges are going to go into troughs at this point. I'm going to the dinos. And my teleporter. How wonderful. So a lot of this is going to be redone and moved. So I'll bring you along on the journey, I guess. We'll bring you in as I build some stuff and some stuff not. We'll just stream and be like, hey, this is what I did today. Or, hey, we're going to build this today. So, yay! But yeah, so we'll come back to this, folks. I am glad you stopped in. If you have stopped in today, and I will be back and we will build this saloon. So, till later, folks. Bye bye now.